Yo, I made cuss, but I don't curse. We're gonna get that situated first. Y'all already know the drill. And here to talk about the Sagittarius ladies. Shout out to the Sagittarius women. Matter of fact, shout out to Charlene, by the way, who actually got me back out here in these YouTube streets doing astrology videos on relationships. I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. Shout out to her for that, and shout out to the centaurs of the world. Glad that we can be here for another rendition, another series, another part of the series, however you want to call it. So, real quick, I might as well piggyback on this since we're here. In the comment section of that particular video, we were talking about Sagittarius and Pisces and how Pisces be ghosting and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I must say this, that I'm going to start by saying this anyway. It's like, Pisces people ghost in fear of getting lucky. Like, it's almost too good to be true. It's like, I think it's something that may be built over time, or maybe because, sometimes in astrology texts they say Pisces is timid as well. So there's like this fearful, is this really going to happen? Is this really true thing that happens? And then it's just like, well, let me stop, or let me pause. It's like the Hanged Man card in tarot occurs, and then we get to like freezing and being suspended in midair. And I know this can be very frustrating and confusing to people, but this is what I'm talking about, right? Having the hard conversations. Nobody wants to have the hard conversations. Like, I'm telling you, like, some people are just too proud to even say Pisces is timid, period. Like, Pisces people, you know what I'm saying? But there are occasions where timidness does arise. I think there's other words better suited for timid, but granted, we could use timid in certain situations. And I think ghosting people is part of that, like, but there's more to it. There's more factors that play into part. Like, I feel like we withdraw and get into like Capricorn mode, or like Earth mode in general, the Earth element in general. And that is making sure that we're grounded, because this is what I'm saying, other factors play a part. If you have a track record, right, of losing yourself in relationships, meaning you're so devoted to the other person, you go all out, you know what I'm saying? You do whatever you can to make the relationship blossom, this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? You bring your best self, whatever the case may be, and you realize that your feet have been swept off the ground, like literally, you know what I'm saying? And it usually doesn't happen until something occurs that is so devastating, like breakup or cheating, or whatever the case may be, or you thought something was one way but it's usually another, or later on down the line someone becomes accustomed to your behavior, your repetition, and then they make assessments on you, and then it comes out in an argument, and you're like, oh, you lazy motherfucker, you bum ass bitch, and you know what I'm saying, things like that. And then the next thing you know, you like, oh shit, I'm sleeping with the enemy type shit. You understand what I'm saying? And this can go for anybody. This doesn't have to happen to just Pisces. But what I'm saying is that Pisces energy is like aware of that, especially after it occurs, and then we're like, oh shit, because they say, as they say, a Pisces will do so well with a Capricorn in their life, right? A Pisces does great with a Taurus in their life, right? Pisces opposite is Virgo. They go together, opposites attract. The reason why they say that is because of the ground, the earth element. Earth to Pisces, come out of the clouds, pause, hey, yo, that's crazy, and get back down here with the rest of us. This is real life. You must do things every day, repetitively, show up in order to show out this, that, and the third, and, use methods and stuff like that. And Pisces is just like, man, I want to go with the flow and just live my life. The fuck is y'all talking about? But, like I said, when you see the opposite end of that and how bad it can get for the self, for the Pisces individual, it's like a step of precaution is taken. And usually, right, and this is in relationships in general, but I'm going to keep it on this. I'm going to keep it a beam with the Pisces and the Sagittarius, right? Usually when you get with someone, you have to match their frequency. And therefore, all ghosting comes from not being able to do so. I'm just keeping it a beam. Again, people don't want to have the hard conversations, B. So if you meet, let's say you meet a Sag that's really looking like a Sagittarius, like traveling back and forth, got a job, a career, and something that's like, I don't care, bars are nice, we know that already, but you know what I'm saying, like a careless career almost. It's like, yeah, I pick up and I go and I just do this, and I come back and I do a conference over here real quick, they pay me this amount of money, and you just like, man, that's some real free-spirited shit you got going on over there, right? So for example, a Pisces might be like a Sagittarius, right? Chick might be like, yo, I'm gonna take off the week. We gonna be out. We gonna take a trip somewhere. Pisces might go to their boss and be like, yo, can I get 2 days off? You know what I'm saying? That timidness arises like, not only are they not asking for the full week, they think it's like unheard of. They think it's going to cost them their job. Why? Because the groundedness that's usually needed for a Pisces to be stable. It's like we all don't have the same responsibilities when it comes to sun sign characteristics when we're natally born, naturally. You know what I'm saying? Other things can color it as exceptions to the rules, but I'm using that as an example of the sun sign characteristics. Like, and Pisces might think that if they take too many days off, their boss is going to fire them. Like, oh, you want to take a week off? Who do you think you are? You know what I'm saying? Like, on the other end, Sagittarius has made their lifestyle tailored to that type of behavior because of their sun sign qualities. You understand what I'm saying? Pisces is more like, and this is not an excuse for us, it's just like, we're more like the lost souls on earth, be like, just, again, chameleon, right? We are the chameleons of the zodiac. We blend in to fit into the society around us. So we'll pick up an odd job real quick because we need money to survive and clothes to wear. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we're just really feeling our way until we do what we ultimately want to do. Much like a Sagittarius approaches life as well, but it's just in a different type of way. So the ghosting, it means it's like, you know, it's just it plays a part of that, of not being able to match one's frequency. You know what I'm saying? Or not, you know, it's kind of embarrassing to be like, listen, ma, I can't take the week off. You know what I mean? But I'm going to ask for 2 days off. She's gonna be like, what? Not saying that she would be like, what? But she might be understanding of it. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, but not only that, Pisces also has a ghosting issue when it comes to playing the field because, like I said, if you've been burned a couple of times, not gonorrhea, y'all, but you know what I'm saying, in relationships, you're going to start doing certain things to protect yourself, and ghosting is one of them. So it's like she mentioned how a Pisces was like really on her, you know what I'm saying? Finally gave him the time of day, finally, you know what I'm saying? Took him out, they went out, had a great time, had a blast, you know what I'm saying? I think a few times he said, and then it just like dissipated, like it started dwindling, and he shows up less now. He just be on some ghosting shit now, right? And I would say that comes from wanting to see how the love grows fonder in the absence. That's a saying, right? Love does grow fonder in the absence. But, and I noticed this too, because she mentioned this. She said, Sagittarius need a lot of pressure and a lot of consistency. It's that pressure, right? Put that pressure on me, daddy, whatever. They really be into that shit. And it's like this. I get it and I understand it, and you should understand your partner and know what they need or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, Pisces doesn't want to become your entertainment. You know what I mean? Become your lunch. What I mean by that is, it's like if you're in someone's face all the time, 24/7, or putting the pressure on them like that, it's like you're giving them all of you. And Pisces needs a bit of elusiveness, a bit of mystery to them, or it's over, it's done. And if you think of bullshit, just think about it. Imagine a Sagittarius bored. Have you ever seen it? I've seen it. I've seen them walk on people because they were bored. Boredom. So just think about that. Like, we ain't stupid now. You know what I'm saying? What is life like for you when we're not there? You understand what I'm saying? Pisces will do that as a strategy to just see. Because what are you going to do when you're bored, Mom? And we're not saying that we're hoping for the worst, but like I said, that spontaneity that comes with Sagittarius chicks, listen, I'm telling you, I know about it. Prime example, right? I've been dreaming about the Sagittarius chick for like 2 months now. Not every single night, but like repeatedly. Like it's a lot of days a lot of nights out of the days, excuse me. And we're just doing like regular stuff. It's not over the top sexual or none of that stuff, even though we used to be very sexual. I mean, very. But it's none of that. We're just doing regular, everyday stuff that you would do if you was hanging out with someone. Like if we was hanging out. I haven't seen this woman in over 10 years. Over 10 years. Yet she just keeps popping up in my dreams lately. And I'm like, what is that about? You know what I'm saying? But it made me reflect about the times when, not only that I met her, but yeah, when I met her, when we started hanging out and stuff like that, I was a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give y'all some pointers right now. The ruling planet of Sagittarius, or the signs that you're dealing with, is going to give you some insight into relationships. And the sign itself is going to give you some insight into the relationships. I told you that before in the Breaking the Ice video, that wherever the sign is in the zodiac wheel or in your natal chart, those signs, those actual sun signs will pop up for you in your life according to what houses those signs are in. So I got a Jupiter in my 12th house. 12th house rules over drugs. So Jupiter rules over Sagittarius. When I met her, that's where I was at. Like, that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Full time. Like, nothing that was what I did. You know what I mean? And so the relationship was different there. And it could be a major part of why I even met them and started dealing with them. Not saying that they was in the field. They was not. They was actually a very good girl. Go to work, come home, maybe a movie here and there, maybe a night out with the girls here and there. But that's about it. Shorty was a good girl. You understand what I'm saying? It was just me, and I guess I was the entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I, come around, kept her. She was not bored. You understand what I'm saying? And she gave me the most prestigious oral arrangement. I'm talking about, this girl is in a league of her own. I know we kind of going off on a tangent here, but listen, hear me out. I must say these things because, listen, we got to have the hard conversations. Pause. Hey, yo, that's crazy work. But listen. When I got out of prison, you understand what I'm saying? She was already in a league of her own, extraordinary league, right? So when I got out, I was like, I'm telling myself when I'm in jail, I'm like, yo, if I get out, when I get out, I'm going to see this girl, and then I'm flying straight. I'm telling you, not ever going through this shit again, right? So, and she did the bid with me, Sagittarius chick. So talk about boredom, huh? You know what I'm saying? I don't care if she had 10 boyfriends while I was away. I ain't asking her those questions because I don't when I go to jail. But she did the bid with the kid. You understand? Bars were nice. We know that already. But when I came home, she did that. Yo, I ain't been back to jail since. So let's give a round of applause for her and me. And in all reality and in all jokes aside, you know what I'm saying? Very good woman. Very good woman. She didn't deserve me at that point, which brings me to another point. Another Sagittarius woman that I dealt with back in the days, kind of like around that time. Also met them when I was drug dealing. Jupiter rules. Jupiter's in my 12th house. Met her when I was drug dealing. She did the bid with the kid as well. And she was friends with another Sagittarius. They both did the bid with me. Pictures, letters, money, pictures, letters, money, pictures, letters, money. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and these was like my road dogs out there in the street. What did they do in the street? Jobs, come home, good girls. You know what I'm saying? They had fun, don't get me wrong. And I guess that's what brought me into the mix, you know what I mean? But I wasn't good for them. And this goes to show as well, people. Check the, if you got conjunctions in your chart, planetary aspects in your chart. I got a Jupiter that's conjunct Saturn. Not exactly, but a little more degrees spaced apart from each other. And my Saturn has way more degrees than my Jupiter does. So that was me in the drug world, in the underworld, believing that, I'm going to get the boat with all of the kilos one day and we're just going to run off into the sunset. Exaggerated, right? Jupiter expansion exaggerates optimistic dreams. How optimistic can you be when you're breaking the law every single day of your life? You understand what I'm saying? It just wasn't reality. But the 12th house can do that to you, bring you out of reality and have everybody around you believing that this is what we're going to be doing because it feels fantastic. We're having fun. You haven't ever seen money been made this fast. You know what I'm saying? I'm popping up at their jobs, doing all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's granted. It's just like, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting fast money, but that fast money run out and everything and then don't last long. It's nothing grounded. It's nothing grounded in that 12th house. It's nothing grounded in that Pisces. You understand what I'm saying? So the higher degrees of my Saturn took over eventually, and as it usually does, as it should. And Saturn is like the warden of the jail. 12th house runs prisons as well. So it's like I was bound to go to prison anyway. It was going to happen regardless. I got a stellium there. So just imagine, right? So I ended up getting picked up. I go to jail. Like I said, they did the bids. I got out. Saturn rules over the later years in your life as well. So it's like when I got out, and I told you I went straight and narrow, B. I ain't turned back since. You understand what I'm saying? That's the responsibility that happens in a person's life when they mature and things of that nature, which I was also talking about in the last relationships video that I did when I said, let me tell you something. But these are major points, very important points, and not for nothing, Saturn rules over the 10th house naturally, which rules over someone's career, right? So now I see more Sagittarius women being attracted to me, or I'm attracting more Sagittarius women. I'm speaking and I'm dealing with Sagittarius women based upon what my career is. It's not based upon being a drug lord or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or being a jailbird. It's because 10th house. Sagittarius is Pisces 10th house when you're dealing with the zodiac wheel, meaning if I'm Pisces as the first house, Sagittarius is my 10th house. You understand what I'm saying? So now the responsibilities shown there is what pulls that Sagittarius energy. If you have any questions about what I just said, please get in the comment section, because I love to elaborate and clarify so that people have a full understanding of the things that I'm saying. But Sagittarius ladies, listen. So I'm talking to a Sag woman now, right? And we've been talking for some time now, and I'm not saying like this is like a, or should I say rather, this is like a client-merchant type of relationship. At least that's how it began. You know, like a teacher-student relationship. Now it's more like a teacher-teacher, student-student relationship, because we be bouncing ideas over each other and talking about stuff that's related to what I do. So it's like one of those, and I know what y'all think. I'm like, yo, chill. Those don't ever work. You know what I mean? Be careful. You know what I mean? Chicks take you to court later and this and the third. Listen, how many people do y'all know that have gotten together when they was at work? Exactly. And how many people do you know? Look, like dudes are under pressure right now. And not for nothing, first of all, the 7th house distinctively says that you can get into a partnership based upon whether it's romantic or whether it's business, right? Distinctively. All the textbooks that I've ever read have said that. So they put a clear emphasis on that as well. You know what I mean? And not for nothing, like, this brings a point up. Like, this dude's watching this right now. Y'all number one threat when it comes to your lady is the work husband or the work boyfriend or whatever. I know y'all don't even like to even fathom that term or whatever the case may be, but I'm telling you, he does exist out there in that world. And he is a motherfucker. Like, listen, but let me explain. All jokes aside, B, the more that you have repetition, ran by Saturn, the moon too, but on a materialistic level, ruled by Saturn, repetition, and collaborating with career efforts, or, you know, in an effort that is on a trajectory that is climbing, the more that happens, the more that occurs, the more that they behave as a team. And this is what, 5 days out of the week, sometimes 6, 7, and sometimes the weekends too. The more that they do that, the more that they understand what it takes to have a lasting relationship that works. When I say works, I mean not just working, but also, you know, they're getting paid while they do it. So they get to see like, oh, this is what it's like to be with someone who actually helps you. And then, yeah, we leave every day and we go home to our other lives, or whatever you want to call it, right? But majority of the day, 8 hours out of the day, you with them doing that, busting the dope moves, making sure that you take care of the people that you got back there. And that might be your second family back there at home. I know I'm saying some rough things right now, but we gotta start having the hard conversations. I be telling y'all, listen, I can't have my wife working for somebody else in another building. I just can't do it. She gotta work for herself, or she gotta work with me or for me. I just can't do it because of these reasons. You're going to see your husband. Your boss, the dude who signed your checks, is your husband. I don't want to take too much away from this, but y'all know, y'all have heard me say this before. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. You got to look out for that. But it trains women on how to be collaborative, how to actually help the husband without being, oh, you're a brokey, oh, you need help, oh, da, 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 da. You're supposed to be a provider and this, that, and the third. This is the reason why Saturn rules over Libra and Libra rules over relationships. Remember I said in the Breaking the Ice video, shared responsibilities. Know what type of relationship you're in, or what planets or aspects can be integrated into the relationship, so neither one of you are bamboozled. Like, I can tell you, like, boom, she fine as fuck, the chick that I'm talking about, right? And I told her. But I don't go overboard with her. I maintain the professional level as much as not as much as I possibly can. Like, it's not controllable. I control it and I curb it because it just seems like it just feels much better. You know what I'm saying? I told her she bad. She know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nice. We know that already. But that's that. That's out of the way. And now we just be... And she's always been on some old creativity, collaborative, business insights type of mentality when we started talking, apart from, you know, the lesson or whatever the case may be. And not for nothing, it's been developing for some time now. Gradual, also a thing that is ruled by Saturn. Patience, right? Methodology, taking steps, planning. It's a Capricornian thing as well. It's an earth element thing in general. So that shows the respect for each other, and what we also got other endeavors going on in our lives. this person actually sets times and dates to meet up and honors them, like they're always on time. You know what I'm saying? So again, that shows what? Responsibility. So we can at least say that me and this Sagittarius woman has a shared responsibility type of relationship. And you may just be hearing and seeing something coming from us soon. You know what I'm saying? But then again, we might have to take a second look at that, because now she might be a Scorpio. And I'm saying this because she just switched side rail on me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actually digging it, because now we could sharpen each other more, because I could pick her brain about things that are side rail. I've chose tropical over side rail every day. You know what I'm saying? And I still got reasons why. But I did make an interesting discovery a couple of days ago, which I'm trying to talk to her about. As a matter of fact, okay, let me not drag that out. It's probably what I'm going to talk to her about next, but okay. I've been also kicking it with a Sagittarius prior in my life too. This is when I'm talking about one of the girls that had actually did the bid with me, right? Just to see if I still got it. Just to see if she still got it. She still got it as far as like looks go. Like she still looks damn near exactly the same as she did 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Beautiful girl. It's weird though, or should I say maybe ironic, because I remember she told me back in the day, she was like, I won't ever have kids by you. She was like, I fucks with you, but I won't ever have kids by you. I'm like, wow. She's like, you're crazy. And just left it at that. And it makes me ponder on it now, because I'm thinking like, she probably wanted to say so much more than just crazy. But crazy is a good way to just round everything off, summarize it, and not make too big of a deal of it, right? But she did say that, and now she got 7 kids. And I'm not saying that being vindictive, like, oh, look at you now. You know what I mean? You got 7 of them little critters. You know what I'm saying? Nah. But it's just ironic to me. Like, man. So she probably thought about it the whole entire time. Like she wanted a big family, or she wanted a lot of kids. And she was just like, yo, I like this dude. But, you know, but I was, like I said, I was living a lifestyle that was terrible in hindsight, looking back on it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And maybe she just knew something about me in general. Like, yo, this is not the candidate for children. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if the dude that, or dudes that she had children with now are great candidates. I don't know. You know, I don't get into all that. It's not my business. You know what I'm saying? But I do look at her and I'll be like, man, I can't even fathom the type of exhaust she must experience with having that many children. 2 of them are still toddlers. And but she make it look good. And I don't see no men around. You know, ladies, y'all gotta be, listen, I'm gonna just throw this out there, right? This ain't got nothing to deal with being a Sagittarius, but it don't be no men in a lot of them pictures, be. It don't. So I first want to say kudos to y'all for being able to handle it on your own, or if y'all are just wise enough to not put the dudes in the pictures, because that'll might mess up your other prospects, dating prospects, from getting from them. You know what I'm saying? Or it just could ruin or damage the relationship, because now people want to get in your business. They want to find their name on Facebook and Instagram too, and they want to go to their page and, you know what I mean, do those. Or it's just like, look, I give y'all credit for holding it down if there really is no men in the picture. But I just wanted to say, like, men, especially predatory thinking men, or just men who will want to pursue women that they like, they notice that. They notice that. Trust me when I tell you. But she makes it look real good. Like, they're all well dressed, well kept, well groomed. So if you do talk to her, I'm just saying, matching frequency. Remember what I said about the matching frequencies? Yeah. Don't be embarrassed. You might have to ghost her because you can't match that frequency. You understand what I'm saying? That part. But yeah. I think everything worked out the way that it was supposed to, though. You know? Especially when I gave the explanation about Jupiter being in the 12th house and, you know, Sag being the Pisces 10th house in the zodiac wheel on the solar chart. Yeah, things have worked out the way that they are supposed to. Anyway, get in the comment section if you have any questions, anything you'd like to add on to this. And I'll see y'all in the next video.